Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. And we have a wonderful piece of news for you all. I'm sure you were all on the edge of your seat wondering. Well, it's been confirmed that after a no-show yesterday, Nicola Sturgeon will turn up, will attend, and will be at the SNP to make an appearance. We were wondering if she'd come at all. But of course, it's going to be a bit of a shock for her coming out onto the stage to look out over the vast crowds and see about 700 people. She's normally used to those Nuremberg rallies with flags and flames and children waving and marching troops goose-stepping down Socky Hall Street. That's her kind of thing. But no, she'll get about 700 middle-aged and elderly people sitting there pulling out their sandwiches, women doing their knitting, someone slightly clapping every time someone says anything. You know, it's almost as though they've let them out for the day from the local old age pensioners place. You know, and it's turned out nice again, hasn't it? Yeah, but the sandwiches are shit. They're ham. I thought you liked ham sandwiches. No, I hate ham sandwiches. You know, it's that. That's what you're getting. And she's going to come out and she's going to be very bitterly disappointed, isn't she? She's not used to it. She really isn't. And I tell you what it's going to be like. Her turning up to this. It's going to be like John Terry turning up to the Champions League final, isn't it? She'll be there. She's got nothing to do with this. But she'll be there and flag waving and going, oh, isn't the SNP great? And it's not her show. It's sad. Anyway, we'll have a look and see what's going on. She's not there yet. But we'll have a look now at this piece. And then we may have a look later after she's been and sort of compare notes. But anyway, here you go. So, Nicola Sturgeon to make an appearance at the SNP conference. As Humza Yousaf claims, he's delighted to see her. Of course he is. She might even bring a few more people with her. Nobody wants to look at him, but they'll all come and see her. And if he's lucky, you know, they'll stick around. Yeah, never going to happen, is it? Anyway, the former First Minister will be making an appearance in Aberdeen on Monday, just a day after her successor managed to get an independent strategy pushed through conference. At the third attempt, it wasn't his first choice, and it's still a load of rubbish. And of course, she'll have read the paper today as well, which we did earlier, where they're only likely to get 18 MPs at the next election. So I'm sure she'll have a wee pouty face on, you know, puckered. Anyway, Nicola Sturgeon is set to make an appearance at the SNP conference for the first time since she resigned as leader of the party. And it's been almost 10 years since the former First Minister appeared at a nationalist annual summit as just an MSP. Yeah, I mean, and that's it. I mean, she's going to go up onto there. She'll take the salutes, you know. She'll endorse whatever policy that. What's the current policy? Eradication of the Jews. She'll endorse that. Probably announce that she wants to invade Poland. And then they can take her off, pat her on the head, and put her to bed and give her a Horlicks or something, send her on her way. But anyway, fears have been raised that this may overshadow her successor, Humza Yousaf. What do you think? Do you think that she'll have more of a pull than him? Of course she will. He breathed a huge sigh of relief yesterday when delegates agreed on one of the many revised Skexit plans he has, none of which would work, of course. His initial proposals, which were to claim a mandate for independence if they win the most seats, was changed to a majority of seats. Although it's pointless, because they're not going to get either, are they? It means that the SNP will fight the next general election on this and could try to break up the UK despite losing 20 MPs. Nobody cares. What they do care about, though, is seeing the Dear Leaderene attend the conference today. They want to hear what she has to say. They want to see her laughing at Humza Yousaf, knowing that he is a complete failure. Unfortunately, he's her complete failure. You know, the tarnish and all that. Dearie me. Miss Sturgeon has kept mainly out of the public eye, apart from all the arrests, since leaving Bute House, and being arrested by cops who are probing irregularities. That's a polite way of saying bribery, fraud, embezzlement, with the SNP's finances. She did give a number of media interviews in which she protested her innocence, but nobody believes her. But failed to say whether her husband Peter Murrell was also not guilty. We did the video on that, and she absolutely threw him under the bus. Her soon-to-be ex-husband, I would suggest. Mr. Yousaf seemed unperturbed by the news that his predecessor was going to make a shock appearance at the conference after missing Sunday. I'm surprised she's turning up. I think it's probably going to make him look even weaker. If people turn up to see her and then dissipate, and he comes on and there's fewer people than her, it's just going to make him look weak. Not that he doesn't look weak already. Anyway, this is despite her arrival being the most talked about thing, overtaking his independent strategy. Because it isn't an independent strategy. Nothing to do with independence, and it certainly isn't a strategy. When questioned by journalists about this during a walk around at the P&J Live in Aberdeen, he claimed that he was looking forward to her arrival. Well, what else is he going to say? Oh God, no, Nicola's coming, she's going to take away all my thunder. Come off it, you don't have any. He said, I'm delighted. She's a member and she has every right to be here, and I'm certain Conference will really looking forward to see her as well. Conference would be really looking forward to see her as leader. He was then asked whether this would upstage him or undermine his attempts to move on from the police investigation, but he dismissed that there are concerns. Oh, I bet there are. I bet there's serious concerns. Unless he knows that he isn't going to get any more problems from the police because he owns them. Anyway, Nicola's a member who led the party for so long. She's going to get a lot of love, rightly, and adulation. Adulation. Members will be really excited to see her. No, he may well be right. They're really excited to see Nicola, but nobody's saying that they're really excited to see Humza Yousaf, are they? Seeing Humza Yousaf excited is not a word that immediately springs to mind. What was it? The word thing yesterday? Puppet. Yeah. Anyway, he said, Nicola and I keep in regular touch, as you'd imagine we would. We're good friends. I don't think you're good friends. I really don't think she's got good friends with anyone. I really look forward to seeing her, and I'm sure she'll get lots of love from members and activists. I don't think so, because they're all bloody psychopaths. There's no love there, is there? Anyway, when asked if he had spoken to her about ditching her independent strategy, he smirked and just said, Nicola and I speak regularly. Ms Sturgeon wanted her party to adopt a de facto referendum strategy when she announced it last autumn. Yeah, announced it and then dropped it, because she knew. She announced it and then she dropped it just before she quit. But, he doesn't understand things like that, because he hasn't got 1% of her nous. Not politically. Anyway, he said this would have meant that the next general election would have been fought on independence, with the SNP pushing to break up the UK, blah, blah, blah. And we know all that. We've covered that in the previous video we did about him. But yeah, the main thing, Sturgeon turning up. What's she going to say? What can she say? Will she give a speech, or will she just mill around and pretend that everything is hunky-dory and that she hates, or that she doesn't hate not being leader, rather, because having power, the one thing you don't want to ever give up is power. But she had to run, didn't she? There was a new marshal in town and she had to run to the hills. And that's what she did. Oh, dearie me. It all ends in tears, though, doesn't it? Anyway, I shall come up, round off and finish. It does make you wonder, doesn't it? Is she there to give support, or is she there to watch him fail in person? Is she there to see the final crumbling end of Humza Yousaf, sitting there going, satisfactory? Because I wouldn't put it past her. I suspect she could be quite vindictive. And for her to come and just watch that final crumbling end of him, I think that's what she's there for. And knowing even her presence would hasten that end, because it's member berries, isn't it? Because remember when she was in charge? Remember when she was in her charge? So it's all these member berries she's bringing along to this party. And people are going, yeah, remember when she was in charge and we were good? Remember when she was in charge and we had policies? Remember when she was in charge and we weren't failing? And we had lots of members and we were rich? Remember? And then they're going to look at Humza Yousaf and go, oh, God, help us. Because that's what happens. Yeah, I think that's why she's there. I don't think she's there to give assistance. I think she's there to destroy him. Anyway, I shall finish there. Thank you very much for watching. I hope it's been entertaining. I like this one. You can tell. Until next time, stay safe, stay well, and I shall speak to you later.